And welcome to Train Sim World 4. We are back on stream this beautiful Wednesday evening, Valentine's Day. So, sorry if you're stuck here with me instead of being with that special person. But hey, we are going to have a good time regardless. So, I was thinking, how about I create a little like a text box or something. Um, just to sort of show like what's coming in terms of what routes we're gonna play. So as people request a route, as people request a DLC, as people request a local, whatever it may be, I'm going to hopefully manage to put it up on this stream so that everyone can see what's to come. All right, there it is in the top left, but we are going to move it around. How about this? How about that? That works, right? Yeah. So then you see that and you're like, oh, cool, I can request something. And then you go ahead and request something. So, yeah, that should be that really. Or we could perhaps move it a little bit there because it feels like it's quite tight in the corner. Or should I say like upcoming routes this stream? I think that makes more sense, right? Or upcoming DLC? What do you think? Upcoming DLC, upcoming content. Yeah, upcoming content this stream. Why not? I feel that makes more sense, right? Because then it's clarified below it. Should we add some color to it? Some burgundy. Our channel color is burgundy, isn't it? So we'll add some color to it. We'll add a background color as well. Something subtle, I feel like. I wish it would show it to me live. It doesn't actually show me live. I hopes it would. It's quite loud actually. Make it a bit more red. Something, yeah, something in that region. If I press done. Nothing. Okay. But okay, there you go. Yeah, something a little like that, right? And then I'll leave the text white so it can be seen clearly. And I think that's cool. It will cover some information though, won't it? So maybe we should put it... Where would I put it? Let me see. Let's get started. We are going to head to Mine Spess Barn, which is the route I'm currently playing through, hence why I've made that my choice of route. It's a quick 12-minute before you get started. So let's see where would be a good place to put this. Maybe there, right? Or what about like there at the very top? Because I doubt that the list is going to get long. If the list was going to get long, then I'd be like, okay. But then even then, I could just make it smaller. So Nah, you know what? I think I'll throw it on the side, you know. I wish I could have it on a timer where like it sort of fades in, fades back out, or I don't know, like a little something, you know. Um, yeah, I doubt I'll be able to do that, but maybe that's something we can work on at a later time. But for now, let's get PZB and C for both turned on. Let's ensure this is set to headlights. I think our handbrake should be off. We've got just under a minute to sort everything out, but I think everything's pretty much sorted. We'll do our headlights to reduced. Pantograph is raised, MCB is obviously closed. We don't need to deal with AFB. AFB? AFB. During this run, not in this loco. Actually, no, this is the loco that has AFB. Forgive me.
RFB.
There you go.
RFB.
Turn that on. That will make our life a whole lot easier. And I think that's pretty much it. We should be ready to go. Let's check our tail lights are on the other side. Yep, destination is set. Perfect, man. Perfect. So we're in the 146.2 to start off. And let's get moving as our brakes release. And unfortunately, it's a bug that I'm pretty glad I don't have to deal with. It's usually on the Dosto side though, where if I use the brakes, I then need to, when I've released the brakes and I'm ready to go, I need to release the brakes, of course, and then switch the throttle to minimum, then back down to off, then minimum again for it to unlock, and then I can use it. Now, that doesn't sound like a real life operation, so I'm not sure. I mean, it could be. I've been surprised by, you know, train operations of the past. Something tells me that's not really how it works. So, yeah, take it as that. If you know, it would, like, if you know it's not meant to work, then obviously it's going to bother you. But if, like me, you're unsure, you just sort of take it as it is, and you tell yourself, look, if in the game it's like this, then that's what it is. And then you just ignore it and you don't think about it, and it won't stress you. That's the key to a peaceful life. Don't think about it. Don't stress. Right, we're less than a mile away now, so let's take the throttle down. Let's start applying the brakes. And let's get ready to acknowledge our good friend, Mr. PZB. Slowing down a little too much. Release the brakes. Luckily, we didn't need to engage any PZB, so we can just focus on slowing down, which obviously we don't even need to do as much as we are doing now. Fortunately, this unit as a whole, whether you're controlling it through the loco side like we are right now, or whether through the multiple unit sides via the Dostos, the brakes seem solid. Honestly, one of the strongest brakes I've seen. But then I think that's like a usual case for German locos in general. We were playing through HMA the other day, in our last request a route, and the EMU, I forgot the code name for it, or the model number, or whatever you want to call it. But the brakes were good. Acceleration was a half bad as well, but it was the brakes that really surprised me. So I think it's just the, you know, the Germans don't muck about, do they? Germans don't muck about at all. We've hit the brakes a little too hard there. I mean, have we cleared the back? Yeah, we can stop. We're good. Better that than crawling away. There we are. Right, doors unlocked. let me move myself to a bit more of a comfortable position. Am I still good? Or if I just relax a little bit? Still there. If I sit up straight, still there. Brilliant. Cool. My monitor is about half a mile away from me. All right, brilliant. There's my good old friend Punk. I feel like maybe let's be yeah. I think that makes a little more sense, right? I don't like to be too zoomed out. I realize that a lot of people seem to pretty enjoy being like a million miles away from the control desk, which is odd. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you know, all to their own. The thing is, the higher FOV, the more you're like zoomed out, the quicker, the more the sensation of speed you get, the quicker you feel like you're traveling. So if people are going to do it for that reason, then by all means, I do understand it. Yeah, because if I was to zoom in all the way now and decrease my FOV, it would look like I'm going at a good 10 miles an hour because I'm just solely focused on something that's so far away from me. And of course, it's taking me, an age to get there. Probably going to keep it simple with the pronunciations today. I'm not looking to slaughter the German language or the German alphabet, so I know my limit. You know what I wouldn't mind doing? Turning the cab light on. It's something that bothers me a little bit. It's nothing major. The thing is, what I noticed actually with regards to like in-cab lighting and like control desk lighting and all this sort of stuff is that when you're wearing a VR headset, and I'm going to assume obviously it's a similar thing in reality as well, but when you're wearing a VR headset, the whole concept of lighting changes. So for example, when I was driving it was the 101, the British Rail 101. That's a pretty gloomy train, right? One, I guess because I was running it on a train sim mode 2, which obviously doesn't have the new and improved lighting. And at the end of the day, it's quite an old loco itself in terms of, if you compare it to the more modern releases. And actually, to be fair, whether the weather was cloudy or not, I feel like it was the same story. But on a flat screen, on a flat monitor, on a normal display, it looks a little gloomy. And so you end up turning the light on. But then when you turn the lights on, again, maybe just because it's on the old school lighting, but I found that when I turn the lights on, the lighting inside the cab, it's not great. It's just not great. It sucks. But when I was using the VR, completely different experience. I had the light basically in situations when it's cloudy and dark and gloomy. You turn on the light IRL, and it just feels like reality. You turn the lights on, and even the light just feels like the ambiance is there. You feel like, I guess, what the intention of the developers was, rather than this artificial feeling, I guess I'd call it. So yeah, I don't really remember what point I was rambling on towards. But yeah, VR lighting is better than non-VR lighting. I guess that might be it. Let's slow ourselves down. I find that the braking that happens through AFB really isn't great. And if you rely on it, you'll find yourself in a pickle quite a lot.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
Yeah, well, there you go. I thought I still had a little while to go before it clamped down on me, but I guess not.
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
You know, in reality, yeah,
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung.
I'd love to know
Zugbeeinflussung.
what the constant. It's like, okay, cool. It's a notification. It's an alarm. A sort of announcement to announce to you like what's going on. Hey, there's a problem with the train, right? So you'll get that annoying message. I haven't got an issue with that. Of course, the driver needs to know what's going on the train, the fault that's occurred, right? But why is it spammed?
Zugbeeinflussung.
Or even if it needs to be a repetitive thing, why is it that often? Like, what does it change? Because let's say this train's going super fast. It's gonna take, let's say 20 seconds plus for the train to come to a stop if it's going like at a ridiculous pace, yeah? The emergency brakes have applied. The driver has to know, hey, something's off, the train's slowing down. Just that is enough. But you've introduced a vocal alarm, a vocal notification. Okay, cool. So now the driver knows, okay, this thing is a problem. I don't know the exact translation of the messages, but they tell you what's going on, I would assume. So why is it then that it needs to happen non-stop?
Sifa.
What does it change? Or why does it need to happen? Why can't there be like a few seconds of break, you know, between each announcement? I don't know. Not the most important thing in the world, but just something that's crossed my mind, I guess. And we have arrived at Bahnhof. German, you know, like software developers and companies and whatnot, they don't play, do they? Like, what genre of simulator hasn't been focused on Germany at some point or another? Like, let's say flight sim is global. You can't focus on one country, so cool, fair enough. But for train sims, and usually it will be like the best of that genre, right? So you've got like train sims in terms of simulation, in terms of like real life. You've got Zusi. Zusi is incredible. Zusi is ridiculous, you know, for reality. Hey, there he is. Data director was a total boss. LAR was in holding to license issues. Yeah, but apparently I saw someone yesterday. I was browsing the forums and someone said that the licensing thing was news from like 2 months ago, so it's not even like something new. However, that does kind of worry me though, because if over a span of 2 months they haven't been able to sort out their licensing woes, what's going on? You know, it's not great. It's really not great in my opinion. I hope, obviously, it's nothing, you know, I hope it's something that can be sorted, because imagine they put in all the work and spent the time that they've spent on it, and, you know, I'm sure they've prepared all the promotional material in the world just to then, you know, have Long Island Railroad say, hey, for whatever reason, no. But then, what could it be that would cause licensing holdups, especially for this long, if it's not that they're just not happy with the products? Because at the end of the day, I feel like Dovetail can cut corners for customers and provide quality that's not great. And we have no power other than our wallets, which enough people are going to let go of that Dovetail aren't going to worry about anyway. So when it comes to messing customers around, it's cool. But when you're now doing it to when you're not dealing with the same people who you're going to use to sell your product, now you're at their mercy. And if it's not good enough, they're not going to give you the green light. It's been 2 months, according to what I've heard. I'm not obviously saying 100% that's the case, but just according to what I've heard, it's been 2 months. So, yeah, there's that. It's got me thinking though, I wonder how many, how far development can go into something before it goes bust. Because what if Long Island Railroad just don't permit Dovetail, to have their product in the game? What if they just say no? If it's got to the point where they've gotten trophies ready, you have to understand, someone's tested the product already. It's in beta, it's in testing. Trophies wouldn't be released without obviously knowing that they're achievable, for example, right? So, like, there's a ton of work that's gone into this, and it's kind of worrying that it's happened, and then you're not even aware whether it's actually going to ever be released or not. And I wonder if that's happened to something before. I wonder if there's anything that we have no clue of as customers that got so far in the works that then just had to be written off because of licensing issues. It just seems odd how a US one has licensing issues. You know what? Honestly, I don't think there would be any like evil intent from Dovetail. I'll be very honest, because at the end of the day, they know how bad people are on the route, meaning they know that they're gonna make a decent amount of money from it. So I can't see them playing any funny games. I don't think I would 100% clear them of something going on behind the scenes. I mean, we've seen the recent statistics with Focus, and the name change and everything, so that's a bit sus, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. A game's the game, man. It's reality, when someone's making a mod. I mean, well, no, let me not even bring that. Let me use a real example. How many, notably the Voyager, but how many trains and models and routes have been removed from Steam for Train Sim Classic because of licensing issues? Stuff that was already released. So, blood, sweat, and tears. And yeah, it's tough, man, because now should money be made off the product, then that product is forced to be taken off the shelf. What about the profit? What about the money that's been made? They're gonna want that back. Because how can you make money off something that belongs to me without my permission and hold on to that money? It's a tough situation, man. But at least we've got plenty in the works. Everything they've showcased, everything that we know is on the way. The news about all the, third parties that they're working with. Like, at least we've got stuff for the meantime. It would be a very sticky situation if there wasn't anything and they were counting on that to come out now. Someone did mention something similar on the forums. of how already it kind of seems like there's been like a shaking, something's out of order. And truly, we haven't had a route since what? We haven't had the US route since the release of the game, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the time frame for the next route. That's not Long Island Railroad. But something should have come out by now for the US market. So it's definitely messing with their plans, but I hope it doesn't do too much damage to their time frame and like work and all of that. But back with some lo-fi today. I feel like lo-fi is the best accompaniment to Train Sim World. If we're speaking of the last US route with a DLC with Trenton, if we're talking about TSW4, we haven't had one in a while. Yeah, but didn't Trenton come up for TSW3? With TSW4, we had the Antelope Valley line. And I mean, yeah, nothing's come out for that since, but nonetheless, it was a route, you know, so far from ideal, but at least it was something, right? Did Trenton not come out? Hold on. Wow. Wait, hold on a second. When did Trenton come out? So TSW4 came out in September. Didn't Trenton come out close to September, or am I just making that up in my head? Yeah, a US EMU route is definitely pending. Yeah, it definitely should have been out right now. I believe once trophies are leaked, usually it's about a route will be about a month or so from release. So this should have been the time when, you know, pictures should have been out, you know, photographs should have been out, teasers should have been out, announcements should have been out. So yeah, I feel kind of sorry for them, man, I'll be honest. Wow. It's a February route. That's incredible. You know why? Because I'm thinking back to when they updated it to fix the timetable. And obviously that was a lot more recent. So that's what I think has got me in my mind. I guess which is very telling in itself, right? But wow, man. Wow. So yeah, definitely was meant to come out now. Yeah, like I said, I hope it's not too big of a spanner in the works. And the thing is, I mean, there's already the risk of it, but should now it become, you know, should it now develop into a bigger issue, when now Dovetail goes to other train operating companies and say, hey, we want your game, we want your trains and your logo in our game, they're going to think back, okay, well, hold on a second, what happened of Long Island? If they didn't want to be put in your game, why would we want to be put in your game? What do we get out of it? It's I don't know, man. Some train companies are weird. There was First in this game. There's the company called First. It's a UK company that for a long time there was an unlocker for it, for the Paddington to Reading line, GWR, right? I've got the like official name for it. I've missed my breaking point completely. But anyway, yeah. So that skin that was unlocked, it was in the game, hence why it could be unlocked. But it's just that First said no, we don't want it in the game. Now, obviously, no reason was ever disclosed. That's business. They're not going to disclose certain things like that. But I can't see where. Say like with racing games, brands will say, I don't want my car in the game because it will get trashed. If somebody sees the car that we're trying to sell all broken up because somebody crashed it in a game, that's going to affect sales, as silly as it sounds. But in train sim worlds, there's no damage. And that's also why we barely get any weathering with our trains as well, by the way. That's why our trains are always nice and shiny. That's how the companies and brands they work with want their product to be, showcased. Which is another topic in its own right. But I, for the life of me, just don't know what like, that was a time when train sim was still developing, it was upcoming. There wasn't a doubt that any other game was gonna come and take its spot. It's not plagued with the problems that it's plagued with now. Like, it was a much better game back then. But I can't help but wonder why they decided we don't want Milkade to use it. Unfortunately, it's not in the game pods. This is Train Sim World 4. So you can have a look at the Train Sim World 4 DLC library pods. And you can choose. There are a number of UK routes. So find something that interests you that I can play, that's Train Sim World 4, and let me know. But Milton Keynes to Euston might come one day to Train Sim World 4. I don't know. But for now, at least, it's not yet available to play. It might be available for Train Sim Classic, though. But yeah, trains don't get damaged in this game. You can't crash a train. I guess you could derail a train, right? But you can't damage a train. You can't cause damage. You can't hurt the image of a brand. So why not? Why not? It's I don't know. I feel like it would be a good business move. There's a thread in the forum not too long ago that asked basically what lines did Train Sim World influence you to like go and check out basically and travel. Now, if you're not from the UK and you see a UK route, you see LNER on the Azuma, you think yourself, okay, cool, this is something I want to experience, this is something I want to try. So how do you get on that train and have that experience that was led by Train Sim World without paying for a ticket to get on that train, without handing that operator money? I don't know. It's a I don't know. Corporate is a weird one. I think things will be a lot different. Let's say just a decade from now, two decades from now, where people like us will be in certain positions where we'll understand the positive impact of a game. Because right now you got boomers there for the most part that don't see any use in a game, in them being associated with a game. I wish if you accidentally went over a signal or derailed due to a bug, it would end the game instantly. Yeah, that's really silly. Well, I guess in terms of derailment, what would you suggest? Like, yeah. What would you suggest comes next? Let's say it didn't end your game. What would happen next? Bear in mind, talking in the reality of what Train Sim World has available to it now. Like, what can fit in the realms of possibility within Train Sim World. As for running red lights here, a lot of other train sims, and even the little games we were playing on Roblox, if you want to use those as an example as well. They all would stop you, of course, emergency brake as per real life, and then it's sort of, of course, your job to await your brakes to release, and then you get moving again. But to end the game is harsh. Real harsh. This is deafening, by the way. Absolutely deafening. Well, derailment wise, they would have They have the right to end the game by sticking a let the paper go. Yeah, but the thing is, in reality as well, right? If we're gonna call it train sim world, as per reality, right? Therefore, what happens in reality? You stop the train, you contact the signaler, let them know what's happened. They let you go. Obviously, in different countries, there's slight variances to exactly how that process happens. But at the end of the day, it's sort of more or less the same. Oh my god. But yeah, to end it just like that is harsh, man. It's harsh. That's when you turn it into a game. And that's almost like a punishment because you failed a mission, for example. You've now taken it away from the realms of reality and have just made it into a game that's where you can be punished. That was painful, innit? My ears suffered, man. I do see, like, I'll be honest, I do see Train Sim World developing into this incredible game. I really do think eventually, like, all these little things that are off here and there that needs either retouching or fixing or changing, I do believe eventually they'll fix it. But it's just, it's taken a really long time. A really long time. Milton Keynes to Houston would be a really good route, actually, you know. Like, I have no idea what runs on that, but just in terms of distance and where you'd be cutting through, sounds good. I wonder if it exists in Train Sim Classic. This route seems familiar. Begins with an M. It does begin with an M. I'm gonna let you take 3 guesses. You're not allowed to look at the screen. I'll give you a hint. It's one of the best, according to many. I mean, I guess it's on the screen now anyway, so depends how honest you want to be, Punk. Are you an honest guy? I know you're an honest guy. It's got a ridiculous number of like, the journey mode has 47 different runs. Even if the stuff on screen, I can't figure out the full name. Mine best starts Barn, if I've pronounced it correctly. MSB, basically. It's a shame I don't really get it spoken about. Obviously, it got a bit of a mention when Barn came out because of the closeness to them, the proximity to it. But yeah, man, this route used to get so much respect. So much respect.
AFB, AFB, AFB.
Right, we've got a load of cars here. Full load of cars. Alright, cool. We're only running 1 loco, so no need for a banking com. I didn't even know that banking com is a thing on German trains. I'll be very honest. Until very recently. Let's get our headlights onto bright. Now reduce is fine, isn't it? Reduce should be fine. Let's get moving. I played TSW for the first time 1 week before quarantine. It was one of the base routes for the game a couple of years ago. Oh, I didn't even know it was a base route. See, that's the thing, man. Like, I don't know. They just did things differently back then, didn't they? They don't make base routes like they used to. I'll tell you what I don't miss is the old lighting. Look at that yellowness. I don't miss the old lighting. The routes are great. Some routes are great, amazing, fantastic, a lot. The lighting, however, now, not so great. You know what?
Sifa.
Oops.
Sifa, Zwangsbremsung.
I pressed it. Let's get my phone charger. I cannot wait till I'm able to get a second monitor, man.
Zugbeeinflussung.
You know what? The signaling mod that I have is an amazing. It's doing amazing right now. Like the way the signals look, they look gorgeous. I don't know like how well it's coming on stream, but the signals look, yeah, gorgeous.
Zugbeeinflussung.
You should get them on at the same size when you have now. Yeah, I want to. Well, actually, that's the thing. So I don't think it would make much sense to get a 4K secondary monitor. I think I do one of two things. Either have my main one, the gorgeous 4K, glorious in all its glory, and then accompany it with a 720p or even like a 1080p monitor, a small one, just to have on the sides. Or I get rid of this monitor now, the 4K one, downgrade to 1440p, and go, and then buy two of the same ones and have them side by side. So then sometimes I can even play games using both of them, both monitors. But if I'm just going to use it for chat and like secondary stuff, then yeah, man, even like a 720p monitor can do the job. Just something cheap and cheerful. Something cheap and cheerful.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
The thing is, for something like a racing sim setup, you'd want 3 screens, either 3 monitors, I guess, or 2, of course, or like a really wide screen. Or VR. But somehow I feel like, I don't know, I just don't seem to race well in VR. I don't know what it is. And I don't know why I can't stick to it. Like, the reality is, and how I've always thought is that you experience VR and it's so good, you can't turn from it. But I find that I can, without a problem and without hesitation. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's odd. I wanted VR for so long. You know, I'd watch VR content, especially when it comes to racing and driving. Boy, oh boy. Shit was crazy. Shit was crazy, but I don't know. Maybe I've outgrown the hype. Or maybe I just don't have the right VR setup. VR for race, any racing game, Pog, like Assetto Corsa Competizione. I don't really play the other ones, but obviously you've got R Factor there and Automobilista, which also support VR. Euro Truck actually was good, really good. You get to feel that you're in a truck. You feel how big it is. Usually I can drive very confidently on a monitor, but in VR I found myself being a lot more like cautious. And of course VR for train sim as well, because that was a hell of an experience. And it was really good. That's the thing, like my VR experiences haven't been bad. I don't get motion sick, for example, you know, like it's always been enjoyable, it's always been good, but I don't know, I guess maybe the hassle of it all. The fact that the battery doesn't last as long as you may want it to last, so you end up playing with it connected. And then you're always aware of a wire, or I don't know. I really can't answer that. I don't know why I don't. Yeah. I did want to at least make content for TSW VR, but unfortunately, my recording just didn't turn out good. It looked disgusting, and I'm not sure why, because I thought, okay, maybe that's just like the game doesn't support VR, so obviously when you come to record it, it's gonna look weird and it's gonna look a bit funny. So I just sort of accepted it as it is. But then a few days later, I saw someone else upload this game in VR, and it looks good. So I don't know what it is, but yeah. But I do find that the games that come on the headset that you can buy from like the Meta store, they're incredibly immersive, which obviously makes sense, but nonetheless are still incredibly immersive. And to be fair, there are actually a lot of VR specific titles on Steam. I just haven't bought them. But I'll still say it's a better experience than just like a flat screen monitor.
Zugbeeinflussung.
There's a thing which is, I want to say it's weird. I don't know if weird is the right word, but I know it sucks. And it's that whether it's the VR or whether it's like my computer right now, whether it's the steering wheel that I've got, like there was a time when I really wanted a sick gaming computer. Like literally all of my specs that I got right now, I had on a list maybe like 2 or 3 years ago when I didn't have a very great computer, and I would just dream of basically having this, like what I have right now. My steering wheel, I had a good steering wheel, but there's a lot better in the market. Like what I had before was entry level. Now I have it. And it goes for like a few other things in my life, yeah. And it's almost like by the time, like I wait so long to get my hands on something for whatever reason, that by the time I do, the excitement sort of worn away. And it doesn't mean that I'm not like gassed, as we say in the UK, at my computer or the steering wheel or anything. But I just think back to that specific excitement that I had once. It's just not there. Now it's more of like a matured appreciation. I can appreciate that I have the PC I do. Or I can appreciate that I have the steering wheel. So it's like now when I think of certain things, like if I want a certain car, for example, it's almost like, okay, cool, let me sort of humble my expectations. I'll make it a target of mine. I'll make it a goal, and surely I'm going to get it.
Zugbeeinflussung.
But let me not get too excited, you know? Like, let me almost save that excitement. Let me bottle it up for now, put it aside, and then once I get that thing, then I can release that excitement rather than being excited to get it, and then by the time I have it, there's no excitement left. But I digress. Yeah, this route is cool. Punk, there wasn't anything on the editor, was there? During this whole period, whether it's through Dovetail Direct or the roadmap or the streams. I haven't seen anything about the editor. If the editor comes out, I could try my hand on modding. You know, I've been considering that recently. Like, I think it came to me a couple of weeks ago. I've never ever modded anything. I've never been a modder. I think I wanted to when I was like a lot younger, when I used to play like GTA San Andreas. But like I saw what it takes, and I said, nope, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way at all. I'll leave that for the pros. But I feel like it's doable with something like Train Sim. I guess it's just when it gets to the coding side of things and bug fixes. Like, you imagine that you're gonna put A and B together and C is going to automatically follow, but that's not usually the case. And yeah, when it gets to that point, yeah, not everyone can get through that. There's a group that I'm in on Discord. The ones for the I made a video on it for it's called No Hezi, and they were planning. So their main thing is Teta Corsa and like their server on there. But their main, well, not the main thing, but their side thing was a GTA server, like a roleplay server. I guess it would be based on street racing and cars and stuff like that, like a Fast and Furious maybe sort of vibe. Which I was actually looking forward to. I didn't opt to test it out or anything. I felt like, you know, I wasn't really the best person for that. But I saw it there, and then I think I checked back on it yesterday or the day before, and they were like, sorry to say, but we're not moving forward with it, basically. And I can only imagine it got tough, and yeah, to set their priorities straight. Thing is, with modding, it just needs time, patience, and passion. That guy Pods that requested the Milton Keynes to Houston route, other than you, Pong, that is the only person to ever actually request a route on the request a route. Shout out to Pods, wherever he's gone. Shout out to Pods. But yeah, I think that little text box over there should help. at least a little bit. I do wish TSW would allow me to completely unleash this local. I didn't know how deep like PZB goes. I thought it was just it depends on the weight of the train, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it depends on the brake power or something of the sort of each like individual carriage that's carrying that freight. So it puts so many things into perspective. There is actually like a guide, a table for it on the forums. I ain't got time for that. If the game gives me PZB mode M, I take it. If it gives me U, I take it. If it gives me O, I take it. Either way, I'm content. I'm gonna get in my train. I'm gonna drive from A to B, from B to C, wherever's required. No questions asked. keep it nice and simple. But it is very interesting to like learn the intricacies of certain things like that. It's not something you'd really consider. And in the UK, at least, from what I know, it just the only thing that needs adjusting within a loco would be brakes. So, for example, you've got vacuum on the Class 37s, or just like regular standard brakes. The 366 has a goods brake setting and a passenger brake setting, so it's almost like it just does it all, works it out internally. Whereas in somewhere like Germany, of course, it's a lot more intricate. To be fair, it would be quite decent to go down the rabbit hole of German trains and the ongoings of like the depths of PZB, the depths of weight and the role that it plays in trains. There's so much depth to it, so much depth. And this is why, as fun as train sim mode is, it's also important as well. You look at something like a Eurotruck and you see how many people went from driving trucks virtually to going to apply for their truck licenses and working for truck companies IRL because of that game. And TSW, I truly believe, is capable of that same thing. Because the education that you can get is wild. And that's another reason why I genuinely do, among the flaws and among the wrongdoings here and there, I do want Train Sim Mode to succeed. Like, if we're actually into trains, if we're actually into rail fanning or whatever it may be regarding trains, you have to see the importance of Train Sim Mode. And that's why at the end of the day, a lot of the complaints about it come from a place of passion. And I'm speaking of a lot of people as well, not just myself. I don't think I complain much anyway about Train Sim Mode, to be honest. There's not really much in it. There's not much it's gonna do. Better off just enjoying it. remember. I remember I played the exact route by going the other direction, and the train just randomly, because I pressed one button. I guess you meant just randomly stopped. That's gotta be PZB. PZB is the culprit. If you just stop for no reason. Actually, no, because if PZB stops you, you have the very nice gentleman with his very nice and calm voice screaming at you, spamming you until the train comes to a stop. So I guess that would have been, it was dark and it was raining too. It felt like a horror game. Well, oh, hold on. TM, what am I carrying? I am carrying a load of cars. Depending on where you're from, you will recognize these as either Vauxhall insignias or Opel insignias. How heavy are they actually? Let me see. 877.6 tons of vehicles. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. I do like MSP. I do like the freights on here. I feel like one thing about Germany is day or night, week or weekend, freight is running on the line. You know, in the UK, we do have freight on the line, you know, running during the day, but it's usually on the more like, so it's not, you won't really find it on the suburban lines much. Whereas I feel like with Germany, it's just freight galore. But then, I wonder if freight is as important in the UK to like the economy and stuff like that as it is in Germany. You know what, to be honest, obviously the lighting has its flaws, and I'm aware that I am running graphic enhancing mods, but I feel like the lighting wasn't as terrible as I remember it. Or maybe it's because I haven't played like the new routes in a while with the new lighting, because all I've been playing for the past however many weeks is just Train Sim World 2 routes. In Germany, freight has more destinations and origins, being in the middle of Europe, plus they upgraded loads of lines in the 80s and 90s. That's a very good point. That's a very, very, very good point. We always have connections, not only being in like the center of Europe, but you've got Eastern Europe, which is a whole different market, but still direct connections, and you've got connections obviously to all these other countries, whereas in the UK, you're just stuck on an island. And that's that. So that makes a lot of sense. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Was it Navaker Dresden
Zugbeeinflussung.
that had like is that the route that's got like an insane amount of freight? That's like a freight corridor in real life. I think it is. And not just that, it's the fact that it feels like every single loco can be used for freight. How many different locos just in the game do we have that can carry freight? It's almost every single one. It seems like the only ones that don't carry, that are not used for freight are the multiple units. Pretty much all East-West European freight goes to Germany. It's the quota of Cheshire. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that must be a hell of a job. And it's only right that it's Germany. that's in that situation, because I feel like they're the best country when it comes to it, with how like exact they are and how German they are with everything. The safest, the fastest, the best. As far as I know, there is no LZB for free, but I feel like that would be a game changer. Like, how much more efficient would things be with LZB for free? I think the German railway philosophy is one of the best in the world. Yeah, well, okay, TM, I'm going to ask you to go a bit deeper. Because see, when you say philosophy, what exactly are you referring to? Because I see something like PZB, for example, right? The signaling system. And it's not just PZB, even within the signaling systems, there's so much depth anyway, even depending on what area of Germany you're in and what, like, left Rhine, West Rhine, especially back in the day as well. There's so many variances. And I feel like something like the UK, for example, I feel like we have a very simple, very simple system in the UK, right? Danger, single yellow, double yellow, green. You see a yellow or an amber, you know what to do. You see a double, you know what to do. You see a danger, obviously you know what to do. You see a flashing amber, you know what to do, right? Whereas something like PZB, especially when you now introduce, is it called HS1? Something like that. But there's a form of German signaling that's even more intricate, where you've got the positions now of different signals and what's lit up, and what does it mean when there's a white signal attached to the green, and what does it mean when there's two greens and a yellow, and what does it mean when there's one green and one yellow. And it's like, is it necessary? And obviously they all mean something. They all mean something. They all have a purpose. I'm not saying they don't. But is it just an overcomplication? But it just seems to be, that tends to be the German way. Some freight services do run on LZB, however, they're limited by instability in the cargo. Right. Well, I didn't know that, actually. I guess it would naturally come with its flaws. But I guess if it's something that already exists, then there's definitely work going on behind the scenes to improve it and, you know, make it as best as it can be. Yeah, the old DR signaling in East Germany. Man, like, Matt's tutorial on German signaling, was that not like an hour? And he laid it down pretty well. Very clear. Very concise. And it still took an hour or so. Man, I'll be honest. With me and German signaling, if I see a yellow, I'm hitting the acknowledge button. Whether I need to or not, I don't know. If I see a speed limit, like an upcoming speed limit sign, I'm hitting the acknowledgement button. If I see, obviously, an upcoming limit on the signaling system itself, I'm hitting the yellow. I'm hitting the acknowledgement, sorry. Like now, we've got what, an 8? 13. I'm going to acknowledge that. Whether I should or not, I don't know the intricacies. But I'll play it safe. So I won't have anyone shouting on my ear. I won't have my train emergency brake. And I feel like that's like the simplest way of treating it. Maybe it's not precise, but it's simple. You can run freight on the high speed of the B line in TSW Castle Wurzburg. You're right. I completely forgot about that. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to revisit that because my data's gone from that route. All the core TSW4, TSW3 routes, Cowan Pass, Castle Wurzburg, and I forgot the third one. What British route was it that came with TSW3? I forgot now. Was it southeast one? Anyway, regardless, I need to do all of them again because somehow my progress has vanished. Having played a lot of German routes, I actually find it quite intuitive. So I'm assuming, TM, you actually know, to a degree at least, the intricacies of the signal, right? Because I feel like you'd find them intuitive if you knew what all of them meant. To be fair, I do like the fact that you can have like an upcoming speed limit on them. But I guess maybe I treat them very simply, like the way I just described it. I see yellow, I acknowledge. But I guess if you were more in depth in terms of knowledge, you'd actually know the like you know exactly what's coming up, you know exactly what's going on, you know exactly what they're trying to tell you, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, as for failure, you will not exceed, you will not excel in PZB without failure. So yeah, no, I hear you completely. Fair play, man. Props to you. There is a part of me that does want to really understand PZB, but it's daunting. The thought of what's going to go into that is daunting. I feel like it would be so time consuming. Like the reality is, I'll go on Euro Truck, I'll play American Truck with no HUDs. And I would love if I could play this as well with no HUDs. But you've got so many different trains and so many different routes with so many different sets of rules that unless you're going to dedicate an extended period of time to one route and one train and one set of rules, I just don't see how it can happen. Not for me, at least. Hello, 182. Hello, I ain't seen you in a while. I haven't seen a 182 in months in this game. I guess substitutions are back. Well, it's not substitution, is it? It's a layer, but I'm in like the 20-something run of this journey mode. That's the first 182 I've seen. That's equivalent of what, 15 to 20 hours of gameplay on this route. I don't learn things like this in one go. I've built my knowledge over years. Yeah, I can imagine. Something like PZB I find very similar to mathematics. You cannot learn intricate maths in one go or in one sitting or in a short space of time. You have to give yourself time. And like you said, you have to experience failure as well. But props to you, TM, honestly. I respect it highly. But I guess now you're going to be more susceptible when things, when TSW, when Dovetail will do something wrong now in a route, you'll be more susceptible to noticing that. I love the 182, it's that shipping container. It does look like a shipping container, yeah. Which is odd because it's got such a beautiful slope at the front and obviously at the end. But the middle is so square. No, I feel like the 182 does. I feel like the 182 does. Maybe you were talking about the... I know which one I think you were talking about. The one that's like square, that the front of it is just a square. Like the whole train is a long square. It's, well, a rectangle then, isn't it? A long square, it's a rectangle. But I feel like the 182 looks like a shipping container as well. It's just so square in the middle. Like it's got a beautiful curve to start with. Goes very iPhone-y. And then a beautiful curve to end. Zifa, listen, these brakes will give you a hard time if you're not careful. Zifa is doing my nutting. Well, we're managing to do pretty well, actually, staying on top of everything. Let me not speak too soon, but I think we're not doing too badly. Oh yeah, safety systems are definitely disappointing in this game, but Germany is quite good in terms of safety system detail. 27 I was thinking of. Yes. I assume you play, well, I guess this would be actually no, it wouldn't be a far-fetched assumption. Do you play Zeusy, TM? I feel like you'd really enjoy Zeusy. If you're not fussed about graphics, that is. Because Zusi is for the hardcore simmer who sort of knows the signaling system, because nothing's gonna help you in Zusi. I feel like Zusi doesn't have like a tutorial or anything, does it? You're just in the game. I have it on my PC and I really want to play it, but I'm still getting my PC set up. Okay, cool. That's fair. What's your PC looking like, TM? I'm assuming you're building it yourself, right?
Zugbeeinflussung.
It has timetables for the driver, which is such a big help in Germany. Yes, and it's got to work in. Well, I guess the Ebula, right? The Ebula, it's got it in the Ebula rather than like a physical. You know how it's in Simrail, it's like a paper, right? Whereas I think in Zusi, it's on the screen, which even that is a big plus over what we have here. Pre-built with 3070 i7 1200, definitely decent. Yeah. I love the fact that with pre-builts now, you can just, in a couple years' time, upgrade it yourself anyway. Well, I guess that's always been the thing. What am I thinking of? Am I thinking of laptops? No, I'm thinking of laptops. Oh no, yeah, no. Before pre-built, it was a price thing. They used to be really expensive compared to building your own. But that's not the case anymore, which is good. Yeah, 3070 is decent though, man. I'm running a 3080 Ti, which is like a step and a half above the 3070. And this game I'm running this game on 4K, maximum settings, and I've got JetWash's ultra graphics enhancement mods installed. And I sit at constant 60 for 95% of the time. Like, it will only drop like very, very, very occasionally. So yeah, you're in for a good time, man. You're in for a good time. I compared prices to build it myself and it seemed on £100 more expensive, which is fine for me because I can't be bothered learning about motherboards and fan compatibility. That sounds like literally what I've been aware of. Yeah, about £100, 100 to 150, 200, something like that in that realm. So yeah, you're definitely not getting scammed. That's a solid price. And realistically, the extra £100, like you said, you're paying for the convenience of not having to worry about you doing something wrong, something going off, something not being compatible with something else. Like, it's a price worth paying, in my opinion. So yeah, man, more power to you. Right, we still haven't got any requests, so I'm gonna continue playing through Mine's Best at Barn. Some reason, like, it doesn't feel like a lot of routes, but it is. Yeah, I've played through 27 runs through my Spencer Barn, and that's the first time I saw the 182. Going from Lisbon to Vladivostok railroads. Unfortunately, legendary. We don't have that in game. That hasn't been released, at least yet. And something tells me we're probably not going to see that one for a long while. So I'll be here forever if I was to name all of them. You guys can check Steam, or check the TSW wiki for TSW 4, and it will give you a long list of DLCs. But yeah, if me scrolling, well, if by me scrolling, you happen to catch something with your eye, feel free to mention it. But I feel like we're probably going to continue with my special one. Whereas Vladivostok? Vladivostok, from what I remember in Eurotruck, I think it's in Russia, is it not? So the Lisbon to the Vladivostok will be about a week, probably end to end at least. But correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Vladivostok is in Russia. Germany is probably the most interesting, but that's a debatable point, and I only say that because it does have variety, but it's got a variety of red. It's got variety of red. Red, 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 red. Okay, this isn't red, but there's red here in the corner, but I'll give it to you. This is white, and then you got a bit of white. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. And then red. Red, red, red. You get my gist. And the thing is, I do know, like, there are other operators in Germany that run with different colors, but Train Sim World just seem to have a thing for Deutschbahn. I think it. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's all the way east, because I don't think the map goes that far. I'm literally trying to recall it from my Eurotruck map, but it's quite inwards. Maybe US freight if you don't know for challenge. Okay, US freight. Let's see what we got for US freight. So we've got Cane Creek. We've got Horseshoe Curve, we've got Cajon Pass, Clinchfield Railroad, which I don't know if I want to do because there's no bank and comms, and it's a bit annoying having to go back to the other end of the train to fix something, come back to the front. So I think I'm going to give Clinchfield a miss regardless. We've got Sandpatch Grade, Sherman Hill. And yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to choose from. Baby Bullet, why not? I hope everything's fine with it though, because I heard recently on the forums that something's like a little bit amiss with it. But hopefully it works well. But yeah, let's do it, man. Let me just add it to my list over here. What's the route called again? I forgot. Peninsula Corridor, that's the one. All right, let's go for it, man. Let's do a little introduction so I can just get my hands dirty with it, and then we'll do some. We can either do the scenarios, which should be interesting, or we can go straight to these runs over here, which are quite lengthy. Damn. But yeah, let's get started with the introduction. I don't know the signaling system for the area, but it seemed to work okay when I played recently. I don't even think it was to do with the signaling TM. I think it was the loco itself. But I guess we'll find out, innit? Should be okay. Hopefully it's okay.
Welcome to this MP36PH-3C diesel electric locomotive in Caltrain livery. This brief introduction will cover basic driving controls, passenger door operation, and recovery from an emergency stop.
Thank you very much. Let's get into it.
I'm aboard to get started.
Yes, sir.
A lot of time will be spent in the engineer's seat.
In terms of safety systems, electro pneumatic brake. I guess I'll be turning that on. Why would I turn that on? We have a lighting. Hello. Right, it should be here. What have we got for safety systems? Nothing that I can see. Okay, I got alerter and a radio, which I don't know what radio would do, to be honest. But we want our alerter there. Is there anything else? I love the detail, man. This is gorgeous. This is really nice. Ah, hello. Right, we got a lot going on here, don't we? Okay. So all of our basic, like, starter stuff. Why is this white? Alright, anyway.
These trains operate a semi-fast service pattern, and thus do not stop at all stations on the line.
Radio just turns the lights on
Be
the
sure to
radio.
only stop
Oh, fair
where
enough.
indicated.
Great. Actually, won't it turn
Activate
on?
the auxiliary systems
Actually,
as
never mind.
indicated.
Right, engine run. Where are you? There's engine run. Then generator fuel. They're all very similar, aren't they? American.
To confirm
Locos.
this locomotive in the train is in charge of the brake systems, set the cut-in control.
This
This
can seemingly
locomotive
be
has
useful for it.
removable- Take a quick glance at the platform to ensure all is safe, then unlock the doors.
Let's get our headlights running at least. I don't know if they're gonna make me turn on my headlights, so let me just do it myself now. I've glitched. Okay, that was interesting. Anyway. Headlights will be at the back, won't they?
It's time to depart.
Nah, gauge lights, no
Set
need
the
for gauge
doors to
lights.
lock.
Oh, here we go, front marker lights. That's not headlights though, is it? Ah, that's alright. We can work with those. Yeah, because they're all made by only 2 companies. Fair enough. That is actually funny.
When fully releasing the brakes, wait until the brake.
Right, I'm glad we have like a normal brake function instead of lapped brakes. I don't mind lapped. I can work with lapped brakes. It's just a bit of a fiddle though, isn't it? It's just a bit more of a hassle than I feel like is necessary. I got more than decapitated. I got sent to the secret back rooms. There's a
When
secret
using
back
the
room up there.
throttle to increase power, do so slowly.
There's no need to do it slowly. Let's crank it up. Let's crank it up all the way. Look, I crank it up all the way. The train's slowly accelerating anyway. So, actually, okay, in a way, I'll go in above the safety threshold.
Use the throttle and brake levers to ensure the line speed limit is adhered to.
Thanks. I do love how much you can see though. A lot of breaks in the window, but like it's broken up into what, 4 pieces just from what I can see, 4 bits. But decent visibility alongside the plethora of blind spots, but it works, I guess. No tail light, no marker, rear marker lights. Which is a shame, but I guess when we get to do our own run, we'll be able to. I used to TM. I used to. Isn't it long, short? Long, short? I think. I have no idea. I don't even know if it's different in different areas of America. And funnily enough, the last time I used it was on this route, but I haven't played this route since Train Sim World 2. And then I just gave up on it afterwards. I was just like, there's just no point trying. Interesting to see someone drive a diesel engine. For me, I can't do it, too difficult. Really, Pong? US electric locomotive is the way to go. I think they just need a bit more love. with in terms of diesels. They just need a bit more love. I have no idea what the braking's like on here. Alright, we should be alright. Because I've just been gunning it. It's a federal regulation, which means nationwide. Okay. Good. At least something's in order. I'm glad that there's a regulation for horns, but it's not a regulation for fencing around the railway. I mean, I guess there's fencing here. But as Punk knows, that's something that I just cannot get my head around. Priorities are in the right place. I think I've done this route end to end like once or twice. If my memory doesn't fail me. It seems like an odd choice for a free route. I don't know why Dovetail chose this one to make free.
Take a quick glance.
Like, it's definitely a
Platform
popular
to
route,
ensure
and
all is
rightfully
safe.
so, I believe.
Then unlock
But
the doors.
it just seems like an odd choice. Natural selection. To a degree, I agree. To a degree. But like, oh, I can't even argue. I can't argue. It's, you see railway tracks. If you don't take care, it's on you. I hear it. I do hear it. I just feel sorry for the train drivers that got to deal with that. Only diesel loco I would drive is a DE30 AC on Long Island Railroad if it comes to the expansion as diesel power by the third rail mode. Listen, listen, like I said, Punk, here, any train that can come as part of that route must come.
With passengers boarded,
Period.
proceed to the next station. Be aware that before arriving there, an emergency stop will be simulated.
Oh, something to spice up the run. I will not, like, if Dovetail release that route again and not go the full mile, my friends, I might have to, for the first time in my life, I might actually have to run for real, for real. Oh my god. No, I'm not joking. It's a responsibility of those in the know to put in. It is. It is. But it's like, if there was fencing, you just get rid of that whole headache. Like, you don't even need to run the risk of, you know, what's it called? Darwin theory. Darwin something. Anyway, we'll call it natural selection. Because if anyone gets hit, the train drivers have to live with that, man. And it's them really that would feel sorry for. Yeah. Scenery on this route while the first person isn't too bad. Fuck, this was back in the day, man, when things were better. You said you've been with the franchise from the get-go, so you know. This was the norm. I'm so glad I don't know anything about Mainzelbahn in real life, because I don't feel like I'd have a good time. So even if it looks so off, like, I actually wouldn't have a clue. But I can appreciate when it's like dense scenery. But yeah, there's a reason why this is arguably my favorite route. Even though I don't play it. Make of that what you will.
To recover from this situation, the controls must first be reset.
Release and apply some throttle. Is that it? Okay, so an emergency
Train is ready
brake
to move again.
is
Continue on to the next station.
an extra step of brake by the looks of things. I don't really see anything differently. I guess obviously the back pressure would have maxed out, so it might take a while releasing. But I don't really see, I don't really see like much more else going on. It's a catch-22 situation. Release a good route once or twice a year to invest in the company by bringing in regular income. Yeah, that's something I keep bringing up because it's the reality of things. You know, we as consumers and enjoyers of the game can complain all we like. But I said this the other day, there's a reason why they continue to do business the way they do. It works. Whether we like it or not, it works. Otherwise they wouldn't do it. So, but what I wish would happen was that Dovetail will just release whatever they want to release. Rushed, not rushed, whatever. But I would wish that the third-party developers who aren't under such constraints, so I know they have their own constraints, I know they're still a company themselves, they're still a business themselves, that may even have their own investors, but I wish that they would take time, like basically do a Just Strains. And speaking of Just Strains, we're now going to see with what they're going to come out with next, whether the slow game but quality works, because their route they worked on for years, from what I'm aware of, and it's beautiful. So we're gonna see whether it works or not, and if they follow suit with the quality that they did with, you know, Ormskirk, Blackpool, Preston, that same quality, that same attention to detail, that same everything with the next route or local, whatever they're going to come up with next, we are going to see that it's possible to keep a business afloat, to keep a company afloat, and keep the customers happy. Armstrong Powerhouse as well, yeah. I don't know how you can have like a perfect sound set, because a lot of the routes have audio from AP. But then they mess them up. They bring them into the game and then mess them up. I'd be pissed. Because you're advertising that you've used my audio, but you've made it trash. I wouldn't want to work with you, so I don't know, man. Obviously, I don't know the in and out. I'm just talking from my own opinion. That's worth not much in the grand scheme of things. But if AP get involved like all out, and they handle the audio for their own products completely in-house, I'd be very interested to see the outcome. Very interested. Like, I'm glad that at least Dovetail are working with them. It's better than nothing. But boy, oh boy, these implementations, man. Implementations aren't great. You know what? I do love a loco that allows you to feel confident driving it. Like, this is the first time I've ever driven this loco in this game. It's going great. Still obviously bits of playing of the brakes a little bit, but yeah, it's going great. And I noticed that I'm missing quite a few whistle boards, but I can't watch the developer streams anymore because the community managers don't know lots about trains. Just cringe. Yeah, it's more of a marketing thing now, the streams. They used to be great, TM. They used to be great. And like when there'd be glaringly obvious issues, they would be pointed out by the people on streams. Unfortunately, the people don't work at Dovetail anymore. Matt is obviously still there. But the likes of Sam, the likes of Adam, I guess Adam's not completely out of the picture because he's with Skyhook. But yeah, man, things used to get pointed out. The hard questions would be asked, you know? The community felt like it was being listened to, whereas now, it's just a marketing thing, man. It's a literal showcase and that's it. I hate these stop markers. Why do they bring them back every time? Every introduction, they bring the stop markers back. Why? It's just like, why? I turn them off and they'll come back on. Why?
Practice makes perfect.
Oh,
Take a
thank
quick
you.
glance at the platform to ensure all is safe. Then unlock the
I want to be able
doors.
to get this right on my first try. It's just like I don't know, maybe because it's quite similar to like the German locos I've been driving. Automatic brakes. I don't know, it's just very similar to what I was driving before, I guess. And I feel like a lot of trains are just very similar. They're very different, but very similar as well in their driving style. The only things that tends to throw me off is the British Rail 101 with the gears, lapped brakes, which again, it's not that I can't use them, I just find them finicky and annoying. But other than
Good
that, I
work.
think there's
That
too many
concludes this
similarities.
introduction. More
with the
details on
trains.
The operation of this train can be found in the manual.
I still watch Sam on his channel, funny guy. Good old Sam, man. I felt so bad for him when he lost his wife, unfortunately, but I'm glad he's still going. I'm glad he's still going. He was a real guy, man. He was real. He kept it real. A better time. The 101 I think would be funner. The British one. It would be more fun, I guess, not funner. It would be more fun if I had like a rail driver. From what I've seen, like a rail driver is the key to really enjoying that train. Only difference: acceleration, braking system, speed, and models. Other than that, they are the same. Yeah, literally, that's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. That's how I feel about it. Right, should we get into scenario then? Early riser, prepare the train for departure, get it fueled up and ready for a morning bullet service from San Jose. Remember when we had fueling activities? Remember that? When we could like fill up trains in scenarios and stuff like that? Good times. Good times. Caltrain has many express services on their timetable called Baby Bullets. Okay, that's gone. So we've got these F40s over here, which are everywhere. Yeah, like, look how... I don't know about you guys, yeah, but this doesn't look big, right? This train doesn't look too big to me. But when I approach it and my head is here... What on earth? How big are the wheels? The wheels I say about stomach height. Jesus Christ. Alright, what did we say? So we'll turn the radio on anyway. Get the radio on, we'll get the alerter on. I don't think I even noticed these earlier. I know I did. Nothing needs to be electropneumatic brake. You know what? Let me leave it off. I think we did. No, let me give it a go. Headlights, that's I think is in the right place. Hopefully everything here should be on that needs to be on. It's not. Engine run, generator field. I think generator field should have been on first, so I don't think it really matters though. Anyway, that's all on. Front marker lights on. Gauge lights don't need to be on. I think we're good to sit down. Right, it would be help to start the loco, wouldn't it? Remember when we had cold starts? Holy shit, this is a lot. Wow, I really like that. With the locomotive set up, run it over to get refueled. Sir, yes, sir. That was a hell of a startup procedure, man. I'm working my way through the US routes and I'm excited to do some fueling scenarios. Yeah, man. Mostly like the old school routes had a lot of them. The camera has a fisheye effect, causes distortion, not fun. Are you talking like just in general or like my camera that I'm using? Because I tend to zoom out a little bit. I tend to increase the FOV. Oh no, you started with the gen switch on. Big safety, no, you found. Oh no, well, that's my head on the line. The thing is, I'm so used to like trains being ready to go. I didn't even consider that it would need a cold start. Wonder how big it would be with a VR headset. Oh, that's a good shout, you know. That's something I want to try. So I want to get in an F40 while in VR and just get the feel for how big these machines are. You know, the TSW camera, it makes things look out of proportion. Okay, fair enough. Then maybe that's why things look so much better in VR. Or that at least has something to do with it. I need to turn the tail lights on at the back. No, this is huge, man. My God. I never noticed that. Yeah, let's make sure we stop before we get to the red. Really? Well, let me before we go that extra 6 yards. Jesus Christ. All right, it took me a while. I got there in the end. So where's my marker switch button? I have never been here before. Where you at? It's got to be one of these, right? No, these are strictly headlights. Where would the marker lights be? These are just doors. Oh, there we go. Marker light. Right. I didn't even know these were buttons you could press. I assumed it would be like the top row. Those are red. Are those actually meant to be marker lights? Okay, I guess they are red. Not great. Anyway, let's move these extra 6 yards. I thought that was only a thing that came in the later routes, but apparently not. I mean, barely TM. Barely red. CMOF has manual junction in the yard. Climb down and switch them manually before proceeding. See, the thing is, I've got that set to automatic. So, how's that going to work? So, they should be set up already. Yeah, so I guess we just head in reverse. Put it in reverse, Terry. Let's release the brakes. It's a very decent model with all the weathering on it. I don't know how much it shows on stream, but it's quite a bit of age. Man, that is not red. That's at best pink. At best. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Probably lacking a bit of vomit with. I guess that's global. That's a global thing then. I guess if someone really wanted to, they could mod it in. TM. I wouldn't be surprised. I really want to see what people come up with and once the editors release, aside from the trains and the routes, like stuff like that. The real life stuff. Having to be so precise with a stopping point is a little bit annoying. Oh, oh, toilet mods. Don't listen. Don't mention toilets on the forums. Don't mention toilets on the forums. Secure the brakes to full service and reverse it to neutral. Yes, sir. Now refuel the locomotive, hook up the hose to the fuel tank, and wait for the train to be fully fueled. It should only take a couple of minutes. Bet. Is that gonna reach? That's not gonna reach. There is no way that's gonna reach. I mean, to be fair, Simro has brought in toilets, so it's possible. With working taps, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Alright, that's really weird. I've missed this, man. It's been so long since I've done this. Yep, on their most recent train. They've got, does this work? It does. Yeah, the new train has a toilet. I believe we're fully refueled. Even the valve has turned itself off. Do I just take it off? Alright. Should have told me to do that, but... Okay. Now this train is ready for service. Drive it down to San Jose to begin this morning run to San Francisco. What time is it? Oh, 6 in the morning. Let's get moving. All right, Tia, man, you take care. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Have a lovely rest of your day. I should probably turn the stop marker off as well before it bugs me again. I love that sound of heavy metal and metal. Hello. What's up? Huh? I am. Hmm? My trains. Yeah. Look. Cool, isn't it? Yeah. You want to see the inside of it? I got you, don't worry, I got you. I'll show you all of it. We love a train enthusiast. There you go. Strange, isn't it? Inside of it, okay. I got you, I got you. Just gotta stop here first at the station. And then once we stop at the station, then we get the doors open. do this and we do this. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you.
I want to see inside of the back. Inside of the back. There. What's that door? How to open?
Oh, you can open those ones.
Why?
I don't know. They don't let you open them. I'm stuck.
Start of there.
I'm stuck on the seat. So we can't see anything, unfortunately. I'm stuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, no, no.
No.
2 feet.
Look, stuck. No feet.
No, no, no. Oh no, oh no. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Nope, it's a wrap.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. Oh no, it's quite the right reaction. Completely stuck. Completely stuck.
Can't get up off the chair and onto this wing.
I can't look. I'm stuck on the seat. Look, can you see the seat here? It's blocking me.
You have
So even if I was to go
dump
this way
and dump.
or go this way,
Okay,
I'm
dump,
stuck.
And then you have to dump over here and dump off that.
You can't jump in this game, I'm afraid.
And then dump here and
You
then
can't
dump
jump.
there and then that's all.
So I'm stuck. I can't jump.
Wait, you can't jump in this game.
Can't jump in this game.
Wait, what? Oh no, this stuck forever. Not today.
Well, it's a wrap.
It's not
So you got to change the route. It's a wrap. A wrap.
I'll pay attention today.
Okay. A little bit later on, okay? Okay.
I'll do two
Go
stuff.
see what Ian and Louis are up to. Yeah. Right. So that was pretty much a write-off because I guess maybe is that why it was bugged? Is that what people were talking about on the forums about that the baby bullet issues? That sucks. I guess I have to write that one off then. If I could like cross it through, that would be cool. I can't. I guess I'll just mark it as done again. I'll just write done beside it. Or I know what I'm gonna do actually. If it will let me, I don't know if it will let me just do a specific text color for a portion of that text, or if it will force me to do the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'll just mark it as played like that way. Alright, and give me one moment. Alrighty, let's get back into it. Um, since we haven't got any other requests, I'm going to continue my MSB run. My MSB journey mode run. If I can find it. There we go.
AFB, AFB, AFB. Zugbeeinflussung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
These raindrops are not great up close.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Oh boy, I don't know if we're gonna make this one in time. I completely missed my You know what? The brakes on this are ridiculous. Why was I even worried? How did I brake that fast, that hard in the rain? Damn. I thought I was a goner. Did not think I would need to accelerate anymore. Pardon me.
SIFA. Zugbeeinflussung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
What is it with coughing in the background of lo-fi songs? I don't understand. Like, is it meant to give the ambiance that you're in a like some sort of jazz club or something of the sort? But then there's a lot of other ambient sounds you could add that aren't just women coughing.
Sifa.
We'll take it.
Zugbeeinflussung. 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 SIFA. Zugbeeinflussung. 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 SIFA. SIFA. Zugbeeinflussung. 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 SIFA. Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung. AFB, AFB, AFB. Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung. Zwangsbremsung.
Woo. Wow, that was close. So, as it seems rather quiet on the stream, um, it's been quite a while, 3 hours and 20 minutes almost. So, I think it seems appropriate to call it there. For everyone who's been a part of the stream, thank you very much for stopping by. It's been a pleasure having you on, and hopefully we'll see you another time. So if you're still watching, have a lovely rest of your day, your evening, or your morning, and hopefully see you soon. Take care and peace.